Om Shanti, 9th May 2019. Thursday. Today's slogan: the record of those who have regard for the self and who give regard to others is always fine. The record of those who have regard for the self and who give regard to others is always fine. So Baba has often talked about giving regard to each other, and this record of giving regard to the self as well as to others, if this record is of giving regard, this is a new record. Baba is talking about giving regard to self and giving regard to others. So if you want your record to be fine, the method is give regard. So how to give regard to self and to others? Even before giving regard to other, the most important thing is to give regard to the self. Whenever we victimize ourselves, we are not giving regard to ourselves. Whenever there is a guilt consciousness or self-victimization or inferiority complex or belittling oneself, we are killing the inner self-regard. So the first regard to give is to ourselves, to our own self, and then to give regard to others. So in both these points, few things are common. There's a lot of research people keep on doing about relationships, whether it is friends or husband-wife or colleagues or boss and employee. Always there is a relationship. So, and there is a conflict somewhere most of the time. And it is often seen that those people who have mutual respect for each other, even if they don't look like to be very compatible couple, there's a lot of mismatch. One is very talented, one is fool. One is very fair, another is not fair. So there is a mismatch, but they have mutual respect. So there is one relation here. Then the other relationship, there is a perfect couple made for each other, but there is no respect. Their likes are similar, their dislikes are similar, their married and this financial status is similar, and their family holds a high status in the society. Their caste, their creed, and many things are similar, but they don't have mutual respect for each other, or the respect in the course of time, the respect is lost. So the first marriage often outlasts the second marriage, because here, though the persons are incompatible, one is rich, one is poor, one is fair, another is dark, one is virtuous, another is not virtuous, one is highly educated, another is unlettered, one is very clever, another is very shrewd, another is very innocent, but they have respect for each other. Though one person is highly educated, another is not at all, but they have very deep respect for each other. So such marriages often outlast. these so-called perfect marriages. So, at the base of relationships, there has to be mutual respect. Whenever there is a mutual respect, anywhere, that relationship will last very long. And these mutual respect should have total 8 things, 8 ingredients or 8 components between 2 persons, A and B. These are the 2 persons, whether male, female, that doesn't matter. Whatever relationships, they are couple, they are friends, they are parents, or whatever. Unless and until they have these few things in them of respect, that relationship is not going to last long. There would be persistent misunderstandings, misinterpretations, conflicts, quarrels, shouting at each other, blame game, something like that. So the first thing is listening. The first thing is listening. We hear, but we don't listen. And for listening, it takes a lot of efforts. We only listen to the person whom we love. If there's a person who hates us, we don't like to listen to that person. There's a person who is always plotting against us. We don't like to listen to that person. There's a person whom we don't respect much because we have a lot of negativity for that person in our mind. We don't listen. So, to what extent we listen to persons? If A respects B or B respects A, the first thing they need to develop is listening each other with calmness. Because when A is speaking with B, B is not listening to A, rather B is preparing what I have to speak. When A is talking with B, B is planning immediately. He has nothing to do with what interpretation, what things A is saying. B is planning inside the mind that I have to do something. So there are 2 classes. This is first class and there is a second class. So first class is going on. We are not listening to the first class because we have to speak in the second class, so we are preparing for the second class. So this is not very important. So we are always planning that what I have to speak. I have less to do with what others have to say. So the fundamental principle of a good relationship is good listening. Listen to the partner, listen to the junior, listen to the boss, listen to the spouse, listen to children, any relationship in the world. Forget these worldly relationships, even relationship with God. We have to listen to Him. Then only this relationship is strong. In today's Sakar Murli, Baba said, "You see me, I will see you. You see me, I see you. We both will see each other." So, silent, patient listening. Not because he is more intelligent, not because he is telling something important, but we are showing respect to the person. Out of that respect, I listen to him. Not even because I should not listen because whatever he is telling is absolutely nonsense. It's not for that. Because I respect the soul. That's why I listen. So the basis of a very strong relationship is listening. Second, Empathy. Try to feel the pain. Try to understand the mindset. Try to understand the perspective of the person who is in front of you, rather than just being sympathetic or merciful or compassionate. Sympathy, mercy, compassion. That means I have mercy for you, I have sympathy for you, I am compassionate. But what I am going to do? Empathy means these three plus doing something for the other person. So be empathetic is to show respect for each other. So empathy, and then thanksgiving or gratitude, expressing gratitude for each other, that you have done so much for me. Even the slightest thing they have done. We are sick, somebody has brought something for us. So express thankfulness. And thankfulness doesn't mean just to express with words. Sometimes it's so deep within that words are very small to express thankfulness. So whether we express it or not, it's not that important. But to have it is more important. So to be thankful to every person who has helped us even slightly. I was sick and somebody came and spoke few good words. He has not even brought anything for me. I am thankful to him. Or you are invited somewhere, or somebody has done something for you. So express or have that feeling of thankfulness. So when A is thankful to B, even without expression, that creates positive vibrations between two persons. And B is thankful to A, so there is an automatically exchange of positive vibrations, even though they have not spoken with each other. Sometimes words are secondary. It's a feeling which is very strong, which travel far and wide. So a deep sense of thankfulness is very important in relationships. Relationship is one such topic where I think everyone should explore every day, because this is the most practical of all the topics. We have Gyan churning, which we do alone. We have Gyan discussion, but it's only with those souls who are interested in Gyan. We have yoga, which is an absolutely solo affair. We have seva, that is one point where, but seva, you need not to have very intimate contact with people. But relationship is one such thing that a person A is sitting here and B is sitting far away. They might be very closely related to each other. They can have fights while sitting far away. They can have very strong, close bond, intimate bond while staying far away. Both things are possible. They can have strong hatred while staying far away. They can have strong love while staying far away. So expressing thankfulness. Then seeing virtues, seeing specialities, searching for positive points. What is the positive thing this person has? It is not that every person is filled with negativity, because I have seen only negativity in them. That's why they are negative. But there are so many good things in them also. There's not a single person on the planet who is absolutely out and out negative. Even though on the surface they might have become negative because of hardness of life, but inside they are still carrying the seeds of positivity within them. The most famous example of Angulimal, who had gone to school in Takshashila, and then he did not have money and he was removed from the school, and he felt as if an injustice has been done unto him. He came back, and then everybody he met with bitter behavior, and ultimately he decided to rob people, and he became the most famous robber. And as a part of his revenge, he would not just rob them but cut their finger, and he resolved that I would kill 1,000 such people. So he had already killed 999 people. Only one was remaining, and he was in search of that one man whom he would kill and rob. And that the last man was Gautam Buddha. And when he came in touch with him, there is a very, very poignant, very, very heart-melting dialogue between two. You can see that dialogue. It's a Hindi dialogue between the two. There was a very old movie, Angulimal. In that is a famous dialogue between the two. He is very angry, Angulimal, and he says, I have come to kill you. Don't try to run away from me. He says, I am not running away. You are only running away. You are running away from your own self. I am standing at one place. He says, because you are afraid of me, that's why you are talking like that. He said, why I should be afraid? I love everyone. He said, what? Do you love me? He says, yes, I love you also. He says, impossible. Nobody loves me. Everybody hates me. He says, but I love you. He says, such a thing has nobody has ever said to me such a thing. But Angulimal says, I am not going to get deceived by your sweet words. And then Buddha says to him, why you are killing people? He says, because they have done injustice to me. He says, can you do one thing if I tell you? He says, tell. Pluck the leaf. So he plucks the leaf from the tree. And Buddha says to him, now put it back to the tree. So he thinks for a moment and says, how is it possible? You are talking impossible. It cannot be put back to the tree. Then what you are doing? He says, you are killing people and whom you cannot give life back. So there is a very, very heart-melting dialogues. And then Angulimal falls down at his feet. But Buddha says that asking pardon to me is not going to absolve your sins. You have to go back to the same people whom you sin against. So he goes back to those people, but they all hit him back because they think that he has come back. And they kill him and they torture him so much. Ultimately he dies. Angulimal dies after becoming a monk, but he dies in the lap of Buddha, and Buddha says to him that he is dying as a great soul. He is not dying as a robber now. He is not dying as a sinner. He is dying as a very elevated, great soul. So, seeing virtues. So even though Angulimal was filled with all the negativity, all the terrorism, but Buddha saw in him virtues. So, listening to the person, being empathetic, expressing thankfulness, and seeing virtues. Then congratulate them. One is thankfulness, another is congratulate them. For what? For their slightest success, for their slightest achievements, for their slightest hard work. Wow. For their journey. So, congratulate people for everything they achieve in life, their slightest success. Because for you, even though if you feel this is a very slight thing which you have achieved many times, but for them it is first time. So, congratulate them. And then help or cooperate with them. Give cooperation. Recently in Sunday's Murli, Baba talked about giving cooperation. Which cooperation? It is cooperation of peace, cooperation of power, cooperation of helping them sprinkle cool water on their fierce, fiery minds. So cooperate. That is the highest form of cooperation, to give mental good vibes to persons, to help them with your vibrations. So helping, but helping is not just helping with vibrations. Help has to be little visible. Physical help, mental help, spiritual help, all forms of help. Help them physically also. Somebody is sick and you say, I am giving vibrations. He needs food. He needs something which you want, something which is visible. But you just sit and say, we are giving vibrations. I remember in 2013 there was in Uttarakhand floods, and the team of Global Hospital has gone. So before we went, all the people who were there around, and everybody, help is coming from all over the world, and they would ask Brahma Kumaris Center, what are you doing? So they were saying we were doing mental Mansa service, which is invisible. So they said to us, we are so happy that you all come, now let's go. And then we had a stall and we started treating patients, because people want help which is visible. If there is some earthquake, we cannot sit and say, I am giving you Sakash. That is good. But what the world needs is visible help. This is okay, that is your personal thing which you are doing. But visible help. Help which is seen. A person is sick, help them. A person is paralyzed, help them. You know, there was one author, American author, who has written that when he was driving his brand new car, which he has recently purchased, and he was so happy to ride in a new car. You know, whenever you purchase any new vehicle, it gives a lot of happiness to ride that. And suddenly, he sees that a small boy has thrown a stone, and there is a dent in the car. So he is so angry. How dare that boy throw a stone at my car? So he goes to him and shouts at him loudly, how dare you do this? So that boy is about to cry, and he says, I am trying to stop car from half an hour, no car is stopping. He says, why you want to stop? Because he says, my brother is in the wheelchair, he is having paralysis, and he has fallen down and is bleeding. And I am so small, he is hefty, I cannot put him back to his wheelchair. So that's why I was trying to stop. When nothing worked, this is the only method I felt, to take a stone and to throw. And the author says, I went to that brother, and I saw that brother was really bleeding, slight bleeding here. And then I put him back on his wheelchair, and gave some little dressing there, and I came back. He writes, I never repaired that dent. Again. Why? Because he says, one should not run so fast in life that others have to throw stones to stop you. So, help. So, helping each other. Help. And remember, help, when you give help to a needy person, he doesn't forget it the whole life. This is the experience we have in medical profession. 100 people come, we treat them. But for them it's a great thing. For us it is nothing. They come, we have given something, go. But they, you have given and I had got okay. We don't know, don't even remember what he had. They come to Madhuban for Baba Milan and they fall sick. Take this and go. And they had got okay and they can meet Baba. And they say, oh, because of you. What because of me? It is nothing because of anyone. It is simple thing. It's a job. It's a duty. It's a service. Just as you have a problem in the vehicle, you go to the mechanic. He treats you. That's it. Go home. Do you keep on remembering how nice he is? Do you keep on remembering the shop from where I purchased wheat, rice? Oh, because of him I could eat. At the time of eating, do you remember the grocery or anything? Nothing. The help. Then appreciate them. Appreciate. I said one, thank. Another is congratulate. And now is appreciate. Appreciate is little different. Appreciation is what? Appreciation. Prashansha. Prashansha. So not the false one, but true appreciation. And last, inspire them. Encourage them. Inspire them. If you inspire somebody, that person will go very high. So, inspiration. In our own lives, we would have examples of people who inspired us in the past. And because of their inspiration, we progress so much. If they had not inspired, we would not have done. So even though we had the abilities, but if they had not inspired, their one word has become like a turning point. Okay, so these are the 8 points to show respect. First, listen. Second, empathy. Third, thanks. Fourth, see virtues. See specialities. Then, congratulate. Then, help or cooperate. Then, appreciate. Then, thanks or encourage them. Okay, Om Shanti.